calling, keep asking. I'm good, gang. Everything good over here. Yes, this is my house. Y'all know what yellow tape mean. Yes, it's
Okay, so let's talk about this YouTuber and this car vlogger who ended up catching himself in a shootout situation, it looks like, man. It looks like he was the victim of a home invasion. Now, I'm talking about a guy by the name of CJon32s. Now, I love that name, man. Very catchy. And this dude has been getting a lot of attention in the car vlogging scene on YouTube. He's got a huge page with a huge amount of followers. I'm talking about like 1.1 million followers. You see all sorts of different videos that he drops, and I think he drops daily. And I watched the interview he did recently where he talked about how consistency and, you know, really sticking to his guns led to him winning in the YouTube game, man. Dude, it looks like he's doing very good and is very successful. But the crazy thing that happened to him is with some success comes hate, man. It's just a part of the game, you know what I'm saying? And it looks like CJ found himself in a situation here where he had a home intruder, man. Now, what's even wild about this is there was a post that was put on social media and it was making its rounds, and it was allegedly his home. So his home in the state of Illinois, it was saying, you know, that was on social media. I'm not sure if it really was, but somebody might have taken that information and used it for ill intent, man. Actually ran up at CJon32's crib and tried to do a home or a home invasion robbery, or either tried to break into the house and rob the home. Now, the crazy part about this is the story is going viral everywhere, and initially people thought he was the person who lost their life. But this updated blog post right here, you can see it says, last night popular YouTube car vlogger CJon32s killed a home intruder that broke into his home in Illinois. So instead of, you know, the early reports that were saying that it was CJon32s that lost his life, it looks like the home intruder was the person that lost their life. And he even took to social media to drop a video and talk about this. So let's look at that.
calling, keep asking. I'm good, gang. Everything good over here. Yes, this is my house. Y'all know what yellow tape mean. Yes, it's a body in my house.
Now that's wild, man. So for those of you who ain't catch that, CJon32s is basically letting it be known that this is his home. And there was a body that's in his house, and that's why there's yellow tape outside of his house. He's waiting on the coroner to get there or whatnot. You know, that's a wild situation to be in because, okay, let's say you're defending your home, you shoot somebody, they die in your crib. You just had somebody die in your crib, man. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? You got to sell that crib. You got to move because nobody want to stay in a house where they know a dead body was just laying there. I mean, certain people, I guess they could do that and keep moving on. But for most people, man, that's a deal breaker, man. It's time to call the realtor. You know what I'm saying? Now, CJ's so cool. If you look in this video, you can kind of see the neighborhood. And as I mentioned before, there were videos online and pictures online. And there was even, I believe, a driver's license that was leaked online where people were giving up his address. And to think that somebody doing that could have led to this situation and somebody losing their life is crazy, man. Now, that's not taking away the accountability factor that if you run up in somebody's crib and you're trying to break in, you know, this is the likely outcome, especially in most states. This is most likely the outcome. You know, everybody has a right to defend their home and everybody's going to do that, man. So if you running up in somebody's crib, you're going to get shot, bro. That's just what it is. And CJon32s is basically letting it be known that, man, he had to defend his life because imagine if you're in his shoes. You the one sitting in your crib, minding your business, eating your snacks, and somebody tries to break into your house because they found some info online or maybe they have an issue. Now, that's another big part of this, man. He's allegedly got some beef with some people online behind some YouTube stuff because for some reason in every sector of YouTube, you got to have an op. There's got to be beef. Even in the car vlogger, you know, rim shining, you know, dressing it down in the chains and stuff environment, they still got beef, man, which is crazy to even think about. You know what I'm saying? But for CJ, so cool, it looks like if he did have ops and their intentions were to send somebody over there to do something to him or to have something to hang over his head to embarrass him, well, it sounds like, man, their plan was foiled.
Winter ain't came here yet. They broke in my crib, and you know it's consequences behind actions, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
So CJ on 32s put it easily there. He put it lightly for you. He let it be known that, hey, there's consequences for actions. And yo, if you try to run up in my crib, you're gonna meet your demise, man. It's gonna be a bad situation for you. Don't do that to anybody, man. Because think about, you're basically breaking the sanctity of somebody's home, man. The fact that they feel sanctuary or feel safe in their crib, man, and you running up with ill intent, wanting to rob or do whatever you got to do, you got to be out of your mind today to be even thinking this, bruh. It's just not that type of environment, man. If you doing that bad or you down that bad, you just got to get a job, bruh. Like, because you only gonna end up dead or you're gonna end up in jail. Anybody who does flocking or tries to get in cribs, especially if somebody's home, that's where you know you have to think, like, was this a situation where somebody been sent to do something to CJ on 32s? Because there's signs of somebody being home when they're home. You know, there's, even when the lights are out, there's certain lights that are on, the TV's on. There's different things that lets you know somebody is home when they're home. Now, this did happen in the wee hours of the morning. So when I say the wee hours, I'm talking about like 2 o'clock this morning, I believe. Now, the local news hasn't picked up the story, but he took to social media to drop this video himself just to, you know, tell his story. So I'm going to let it play all the way through.
Call in, keep asking. I'm good, gang. Everything good over here. Yes, this is my house. Y'all know what yellow tape mean. Yes, it's a body in my house. The corner ain't came here yet. They broke in my crib, and you know it's consequences behind actions, man. That's all I'm going to say.
And for saying that, he's speaking right, man, because everybody, man, no matter who you are, no matter what your place is like, you want to be able to stay at your crib and not have to worry about somebody trying to break in, man. That's just common sense, bruh. Now, to be completely honest, whenever I see stories like this online, my initial reaction is disbelief. Like, I don't believe anything until I see it proven true. And with him putting out that video himself, he's really putting himself out there to where, you know, for a lot of the skeptics in this situation to say, okay, this probably did go down, this probably did happen, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of debate online about this situation, and if somebody had taken his life first, and then second, had there even been a home intruder that ran up on him. Because we live in an age right now where there's a lot of skits, there's a lot of botting, there's a lot of fake stories, you know, there's a lot of bait stories and things like that. But when something like this happens and it's real and somebody's chilling in their crib and a home intruder breaks in and they have to take that person's life, regardless, man, of what you think about it, it's a tragedy. Now, it might not be a tragedy for CJ on 32 and his people, because in this situation, he won. He ended up being able to live another day and continue on his life, you know? But for the guy who had whatever on his mind and tried to break into his house, man, you tripping, bruh. That's just a fool's way to lose your life and to waste your life, man. Especially trying to break into somebody else's crib. First off, it looks real dingy, man. It looks, and almost fed up with dingy behavior, man, with just low bottom behavior, bro. Like, at some point, you do gotta just, man, okay, get a job, do something legit. And, you know, maybe this person was down on theirs. Maybe they on some sort of substance. I know a lot of people in the streets nowadays is on something. So I don't want to shoot anybody any bail or anything like that. But it's crazy to say the least. Now, with that, on a positive note, if you want to, you should go check out CJ on 32s. Like, I wasn't that familiar with him. I'm going to be completely honest. But when I went to seeing, like, his YouTube page and stuff like that, and all the things that he's got going on as far as, like, his YouTube page and, like, all his successful videos, and then I saw his Instagram, this dude does a lot of shining. I ain't going to lie about that. I'll talk about put it in their face. Pause. But, man, dude be really shining out here. I'm talking about he's got pictures with all sorts of rappers where he got on better chains and stuff than they do. You know what I mean? He's out here in Lamborghinis. He's really, like, he really living that rapper life and not a rapper. But YouTubers nowadays, come on, man. Most of them got more money than the rappers. You know, a lot of them, especially those guys who already got their million plaque and who drop videos consistently like he does, and they're all successful. doing it the right way, man. And hopefully, man, he keeps doing it, man. And boy, CJ on them 32s, he got some of them whips, bro. He got some whips. Now, with all that being said, man, hopefully we all learned a lesson from this situation, and we don't see anything crazy like this happening in the future. But I doubt it, because you know the streets, YouTube, all this stuff that's, you know, hip-hop influenced, hip-hop involved, you know, street involved or whatever, man, it has a lot of the same stories and a lot of the same tragedies. And this time, it looks like a crisis was avoided. You know what I mean?